All right, so I wasn't sure if I wanted to take the time and effort to record this, but I have a ton of notes written down, so I figured I might as well make something of it. But I kind of wanted to talk about the state of the game right now, which feels like it's getting we're hitting more and more walls, and I do have my concerns going forward. Especially once we start hitting level 70, which is still probably a ways off, but seeing that there's no further story stuff after chapter 5, and there's no memento stuff after the one you unlock for completing chapter 5, I do think we're coming up on a very, very serious content drought, at least in terms of what we know about. So yeah, I think this video is going to be pretty long. I'm going to try and keep it a little bit shorter if I can. I'll try and put timestamps about all the different topics I'm going to talk about down below, so you can kind of skip around to stuff you mainly care about if you don't want to watch the whole thing. But yeah, there's probably more I could put in here, expand on some of these topics and stuff. But again, I didn't want to take too many notes and have too much stuff and make this video way too long. So decided to just kind of get it done. So there might be some thoughts and stuff I'd like to add to certain topics here, but for now this is what I got. But yeah, I'm sure I'll expand on it and stuff in the future. So to start out, I always worry about gacha games. It's funny, I was getting some content ready to show for this video from another game, and I watched back a video I did for that game, and it was kind of the same thing, talking about content droughts and just not having anything. That's just, unfortunately, that's just the thing with a lot of gacha games. There's just nothing to do. So yeah, I always worry for gacha games or just games in general, having a weak launch. So this game came out, what are we on, like day 10, day something? When did it come out? The 25th, maybe a little bit more than that. I don't know, I don't want to do the math, something like that. It's I don't even think it's been 2 weeks yet, but we're starting to hit a lot of walls in both progression and in terms of resources, mainly gems and keys, and it's not great. But yeah, I'm always worried when a game launches with a weak offering, just because we're in a time now where there are so many games releasing that if you don't come to market with a good game that's going to hook people and they leave, they're most likely not going to be coming back. It's really hard to get people back, because people, again, they just move on to the next hottest thing, right? So if you don't get your hooks in right away, you're probably never really going to recover, no matter how much marketing and stuff you do. You aren't going to recover. I haven't really seen many games that can pull that off. So again, the fact that this game has come to market kind of weak has me a bit concerned. But yeah, I don't know if they care enough about this game. I haven't seen anything personally to show that they care enough about this game, and it's kind of disappointing, because I do think on the base level there's some really good stuff here. But yeah, with all these bad systems and everything, it's just bad for the game in general and for your population in general. Again, we're going to talk about like the crystal or the gem situation and the key situation. You might have your whales willing to spend a ton of money on your game, but you kind of need those free to play and those light spenders and stuff to populate your game as well. Otherwise, it's just the whales playing amongst themselves, and that's not always a good thing. But yeah, so I don't know. It's tough to see how they might recover here, but we'll have to wait and see. And again, it's disappointing that this isn't the first gacha game known to man. There are a lot of gacha games out there that they could have pulled ideas from, and it just feels like they came with a pretty weak offering. But that aside, I'm gonna get into some things I'd like to see going forward. If we make it to those points, we'll see. But yeah, let's talk about rewards first, just because that's kind of the biggest issue right now. Rewards in general, like in every facet of this game, have felt extremely lacking, extremely weak compared to other gacha games that I've personally played. One of the main examples I'm probably going to use is AFK Journey. That is one of the gacha games I've played the longest. I don't play it anymore, but it was probably the longest running gacha game that I played in terms of just my own personal time in it. I don't really remember, but probably 6 months to a year at least is how long I played it. So yeah, that's going to be kind of my main go-to, and I think they did a lot of things well in terms of currency and stuff. But yeah, like even the initial redeem code we had for this game, and we've only had one as far as I'm aware, it was like 1,000 gold and 1,000 hero XP, which back then maybe at level 1 it was enough to level a few times, but now like that does nothing. So pretty weak. So many gacha games, when they release, they are super generous with keys and gems and stuff like that, because they want to get you hooked and get you hooked on that gacha mechanic so that you will pull more, right? It feels like these guys might have gone a complete opposite direction in just trying to starve you to make you spend. I don't know if that's the way. It has definitely not encouraged me to spend any money at all. But I also don't like spending money in these games either, because most of the time they're just a cash grab, a lazy effort cash grab that end up getting abandoned anyway. So I am not one that spends money on these games. But yeah, so in AFK Journey, we didn't have a stamina system, which I think was a big factor in why it was so much better. But in this game, gems are spent on both pulls as well as stamina refreshes. And personally, I've been spending my gems on stamina refreshes. I've done a few pulls in the banners with gems, but not very many. Most of my stamina or most of my gems have gone towards stamina. I am starting to run out. I am starting to run out of gems. I think I'm under 1,000 now. I couldn't even do 5 pulls if I wanted to. That is how low on resources I am. And then spending on stamina refreshes every day, it's going to burn out real quick. And I think that's going to be a massive problem. So yeah, now that you have to kind of, you don't even really pick and choose. It's either pulls or stamina, but even when you settle in on one, you start to get reamed there too. So it's, the resource situation is bad, and then we're running out of content to even get more gems and keys, and even the content we do have to get those is super weak. So looking at Memento, for example, there's 7 stages, right? Typically each one gives you about 10 to 15 gems. So you would need 10 just to do a single pull in the banner. And we have what right now? We have, I think both of these give gems 15. Okay, so yeah. And then we only have 1, 2, 3, 4 currently. I can't get to the next one yet, but we only have 4. I'm not going to do the math. If you guys want to do the math, feel free, but there's not much there. There is not much there. And again, it's drying up real fast. From my understanding, I have half the last chapter from the story, and then whatever the next memento is there. And then that's it for content, at least in terms of the permanent fixture type stuff in story and mementos. And then I don't know what I'm going to do for gems, because again, I've mostly been spending them on stamina, and I'm running out already. Not even 2 weeks into the game. So yeah, I feel like you kind of have to do stamina in a sense, to keep up level wise, content wise, that kind of thing. But then again, now you're missing out on pulls to get dupes and getting more power for your characters there. It's just it's a really bad situation to be in. And I really don't know how they're going to rectify that. Even the events and stuff we're getting, like, it's nice we've been getting these every like 3 days or so, but it's enough for a key for a pull and then gems for a pull, and that's about it. Bifrost Brawl, 1 key, not even enough gems for a pull, just like super weak stuff that dries up so fast. And at the rate, like, we already have 2 banners. We already have 2 banners. So I understand that a free-to-play player or a light spender probably isn't going to, it's probably not going to be able to pull for every character, right? That's just the nature of the beast, and that's fine. But I feel like I can't even pull on one of these banners right now. I think I'm at, what, 45 of 80 on the Iron Man banner. I don't even think I'm going to get to pity. I have not pulled a single 3-star on this banner. Not a single one. So like, I don't even know if I'll be able to pull on this banner to get to pity. And even if I do get to pity, I'm probably going to take the highlight because we have no way to get these legendary highlights right now. So it feels like I am super like restricted on my choices here. Again, going back to AFK Journey, for example, I was able to stockpile my gems, right? And then save up for specific banner characters, the best of the best, whatever. It doesn't feel like I'm going to be able to do that. Like, I've gone in a little bit on Iron Man. Once that's over, how am I going to save gems? There's no way to get gems or keys really right now, not in any meaningful amounts. And I'm just gonna be stuck. You'll have to skip banner after banner after banner to try and save up, and I don't think that's good. So again, AFK Journey had the benefit that they didn't have a stamina system, so you didn't have to spend on refreshes for stamina. You could save them all for character pulls. So that might have been part of what helped AFK Journey not feel bad. But yeah, like, it doesn't feel like we have any real option right now, and I hope they're going to do something. I hope they're going to do something soon, because if they wait too long, like I said before, it's going to be too late. So yeah, again, I understand that typically gacha games are going to make their money from pulls and stuff, but we can barely do pulls to begin with to even get the urge to want to spend for more. And I don't know, obviously I'm speaking for myself. I don't think it's a good incentive the way it is right now. So yeah, I think we're going to have some serious struggles going forward. But moving on for that, we'll start getting into just stuff I'd like to see that might help keep us engaged with the actual game. Because right now, I'm struggling to find things to do. I came in, I did I spent all my stamina on doing artifact runs. Barely, I got maybe 2 purples, one of which was an upgrade, and no legendaries. Just rates everywhere feel really bad too. Going back to the banner thing, the rates feel terrible there. And then obviously we have the pity system that some of it carries over, but the point system, which is a different pity system, doesn't carry over. And it's a mess. It's a whole lot of feels bad mess with those systems. But yeah, I'm gonna try and talk about some stuff that I would like to see that I've seen in other gacha games that I think would be really good, especially with the combat. That's probably the one thing that's keeping me in this game, is I do like the combat of it. And I think some of these suggestions might fit that pretty well. So the first one, and probably the most important to me, just because I had so much fun with it, but I've played a game called Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. Now that game didn't last for me. Same kind of deal. It's just the content was kind of weak, but they had a co-op mode, which was really cool. So same kind of deal. It was three players. You queue up, or three-man teams, I should say. The entire game was three-man teams. You queue up for this co-op with two other players, and everybody brings one character to control. So I think something like that in this would be really cool. You could have like some cool Marvel bosses. You could have your Galactus if you want to get really crazy. You could have your Thanos, whatever, right? But the big thing would be having interesting mechanics. I really haven't seen that too much in this. We get a little bit with like the dragon armor and that kind of thing. The only other boss that I've seen that has any sort of unique, interesting mechanic really was Mr. Negative. Not all the time, but in certain fights against Mr. Negative, he's got his little aura thing. And if you're on one side, you get your damage reduced. If you're on the other side, you get your damage buffed. So you kind of have to jump back and forth. Kind of basic, but still a little bit better than what we've seen for the most part. Everything else has mostly just been a slugfest. But yeah, having a co-op mode and having it either rotate daily or weekly with different bosses and refreshing rewards so we actually can continue to grind that and get meaningful rewards. I'm going to say that a lot. Meaningful rewards, not like you throw 5 cents at me. It's some pocket change and a handful of chewed gum. Actual rewards. But yeah, you could do things like having special weaknesses and the physical weaknesses like we do have on some bosses, just to kind of freshen things up. Obviously, this is a little bit trickier when you're playing co-op, especially with randoms, but being able to kind of coordinate and bring different teams and do different comps that might work, I think that would be really, really fun. So I have it pulled up here. This was one of my older videos on Ever Crisis, but this was kind of just a preview of the fight. So again, everybody comes in with their character, built however, different materia and stuff for different abilities, whatever, not really relevant, but we would have the same kind of thing, right? You bring your Emma Frost built for that boss fight. The other guy brings their Thor or their Scarlet Witch or whatever. Everybody brings a character that you hope is going to obviously contribute to the fight, right? And then you go into the fight and everybody just kind of controls their own character, does their own thing. There's not like a lot of synergy in Ever Crisis's co-op. It's just, yeah, essentially everybody just does their own thing. This was a while ago, so I don't actually remember the mechanics of this. But yeah, like I think this guy was weak to wind, so you make sure you equip your character with a wind weapon, and that way you're doing your optimal thing, right? I think you had to like clear his little dudes before you could do damage to him, something like that. Either way, not really that important, but having something like this I think would be super cool for community building too, people getting together to do these kind of things. But the thing was, you could do either random queues with 2 other people, or you could actually do private lobbies and invite your friends or whatever, so you get to bring your friends in to do the fight, right? So having both of those I think would be really good, and it is something I would love to see in this game. I think the combat system in this game would work really well for that. Everybody being able to reposition and kind of support each other, heal each other. I think, yeah, there were heals, so you could heal your teammates and stuff. But yeah, I think this would really lend well to Mystic Mayhem. So I would love to see something like this in the game. maybe we'll get it. It would be awesome. That is my top thing that I think would be really good. Again, it brings the community together, and I think it would be pretty sick to have. Now moving on, having something like Mystic Clash, the PvP event, as a permanent thing, I think would be really cool. It's kind of weird that we don't have a permanent like arena-based PvP mode in this game. That's like gacha 101. That's how people, or how companies typically get people to spend money, so you're the best in the arena, right? Having that pay to win arena element, it's kind of weird not to see that. And I don't want to say all negative things about the game, so I do want, on the same vein, to talk about how cool it is, the fact that that Mystic Clash was free to play friendly. Everybody was on an even playing field. Everybody's at the mercy of the RNG gods, and I thought that was really cool. I got screwed a lot, and I was mad a lot, but the idea behind it is really cool. It's essentially like League of Legends Teamfight Tactics, right? It's that auto battler. You're hoping to get things that are going to work with your team. You're hoping to get upgrades to work with your characters, that kind of thing. It was really cool. You could do something where you have a ranking system within that mode where it's permanent. You have a leaderboard and everything. You could have like a month-long season for each one, with rewards for placement. Again, no pay to win there. People are going to love that. So you keep going with something like that. And then maybe have like a weekly refresh or something like that where you can get some extra rewards there as well. Encourage people to play your game. I don't know what it is with gacha games, but they seem to not want people to play their game. I might be a little bit biased because I've been streaming this game every day since launch, and I want content. I want to be able to jump on and play the game. I think it's super fun. I love the combat, and I want to keep playing. But like here, I'm sitting trying to figure out what to do because I have nothing to do, and it sucks. I want to play the game, and I can't. So having something like the Mystic Clash where you could play it every day, grind it every day, try and get your rank up, that kind of thing, I think would be great. Now, obviously, what we had was a very base version of it. It was kind of boring after a while. The map design, mainly the one with the stupid thing in the middle, I don't think it was good for what we have here. Just because there's not a lot of movement with characters, right? So there's a lot of times where your characters are just sitting around, unable to do anything. And they're just like staring at each other from across the wall. Just really weird interactions with that. But it was also basically the same buffs. There's maybe 3 different buffs that it rotated between. So again, very, very basic. But if they added some different map variations, some different buffs, that kind of thing, you could have them seasonal. Have the, like League of Legends with their Teamfight Tactics, have a season of whatever theme, and then another one is a different theme, and that kind of thing. Keep things fresh. But yeah, I would love to see something like that. And again, I think like the co-op, it would give something for people to grind and just play consistently. And again, refresh those rewards, make them meaningful, and you'll keep people actively playing. Moving on to alliances. Obviously, the alliance thing is kind of weak. Again, going back to AFK Journey, I forget how often it refreshed and whatever, but it was like, let's say it's a 2-week stint, right? It'd be 2 weeks where there were alliance bosses you had to fight. So every alliance fought a boss, and the top teams would get rewards or whatever. Your alliance would fight that big boss and try and kill it, whatever. But then you could do other things. You could have another week where it's like alliance versus alliance, and you could have some kind of combat PvP sort of thing there as well. There's lots of stuff you can do, and again, this isn't the first gacha game, so it's kind of strange that there's nothing really to do. And I guess kind of tacking it on, it's not quite the same, but kind of, is like the friends list. You have this massive friends list of 99 people, but you can only claim 10 energy rewards per day for a total of 30 energy. And it's really weird. Why have that big of a list when you essentially aren't using the vast majority of it? It would be nice to see either letting us get more energy out of that rather than just the 30, or adding another currency. So many games have like a friendship currency, their little hearts or whatever, and there's a friendship store where you can buy highlights and character shards or something to do there where you don't feel like 90% of your friends list is just wasted. Sure, you can borrow heroes and stuff from people on that list, but even then you can only borrow 10 a day. So yeah, it feels weird. It feels like there's a lot of lackluster additions to this game that every other gacha game just does better. Moving on to the some events. So right now in the Discord, there's this like faction showdown, and you click either chaos or harmony or some shit. You pick a side, and then every day when you talk once in chat, you get a point for your team and shit like that. Let me pull it up because it's kind of goofy. It's cool that they're doing an event, but it's kind of goofy. So yeah, react to your faction, dream or chaos, and then yeah, you get plus 10 points for each Discord invite you send. I'm not gonna go spam invite my friends, I'm sorry, and then plus 1 point for each message sent in main chat, 1 point per day. Is there anything else? After completing the daily message task, don't forget to check your points. Redeem your rewards, use follow. I don't even know what. 50 points gets you, what is that? 3,000, is that XP, hero XP? And a utility pack, that's probably the most useful thing there. 10 randomly selected players from the winning faction will each receive 1,000 tactic reports and 2 utility packs. Like, again, just another one of these things where the rewards are pathetic. I'm sorry, they're pathetic. They're absolutely pathetic. I think there's another one somewhere too, and it's like maybe it's done already. It was like, oh, we're giving out, one lucky winner's gonna get a $5 in-game gift card, and then another 10 players are gonna get a $1 gift card. Whoa! It's just like, I wouldn't even go through the effort of entering events like that. It's just like, you're asking people to spend $20 to buy a character, and you can't even like shell out a little bit more for some event awards. It's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway, like, we need in-game rewards, not Discord ones. Have your little Discord ones, that's cool and all, but we need stuff to do in-game. But again, it's one of those things I worry about, because doing an event like that, I would imagine, takes a lot less effort than bringing something like that into the game. But you could have that in game. You could have your faction wars, pick your side in game, and then as you do activities and stuff, you're earning reward. Spend X amount of stamina to earn X amount of points for Gryffindor and stuff like that, right? And then that way you're getting in-game rewards along the way as well. You want people in your game, not chilling in the Discord talking about how much there's nothing to do in the game. So yeah, you could do some really cool stuff. And then at the end of the event, the winning faction could get a little board or an avatar frame or something, or an avatar in general, something in game that people can at least get a little bit excited for. Moving on from that, I would like to see more communication. Now that's probably asking a lot. Maybe that's asking too much from a gacha game. I don't know why that should be too much to ask. Why any of this should be too much to ask from a gacha game. But I'd like to see better communication. I'd like to see a roadmap. I say that for every game I play. Every kind of live service game, I would love to see a roadmap, because it tells me that you see a future in your game, you have ideas going forward, and it's not just a cash grab you're gonna let rot once that initial bit of content goes dry. I'd like to see them interact a bit more with the community. I don't know necessarily what that would entail, but just, I don't know, just be a little bit more active and discussing issues and stuff, which is a big one. I think they should be addressing hot topics like the fact that the currency and stuff is pretty slim. I would like them to address that in a timely manner, and just kind of reassure people, hey, we see your concerns, we're on it, we're watching what people are saying, we're investigating the rates and stuff like that. Just have your community managers do stuff. There are so many games I've seen that have community managers that just don't do anything, that even the community managers are like left in the dark. Use your community managers. That's what they're there for. Use them to communicate with the community. But yeah, on top of that, I'd like to see some, I don't know how often, but maybe a monthly Q&A/dev blog type of thing. Again, addressing these issues, addressing future content, what's coming, get people excited. I don't understand why people, especially in gacha games, don't want people playing their game and they don't have content to hype them up. They post some stuff on their Twitter every once in a while, but it's usually kind of just, hey, here's Storm, queen of the weather, and it's just like, yeah, okay, thanks. But yeah, please communicate. Please give us some ideas that you have, that there's stuff coming. Let us know there is a future. And then the last thing I want to talk about, again, just so we don't make this video too damn long, this one is probably a long shot for a gacha game that's not like a mainstay, and again, with a game that doesn't really have content right now. I would love to see Twitch drops. Again, little bit biased because I have been streaming this game on Twitch every single day since launch. But I would love to see Twitch drops for the game. It's going to get people resources, whatever, to spend in your game, to use, to enjoy the game. But it's also going to get them active and building your community. So I think obviously some people just lurk and chill and get their drops and leave. That's fine too. But like, build your community. That's what I think is the biggest part of Twitch drops, is you get people that might not normally be on Twitch or even in the Discord and chatting and stuff like that. It potentially encourages them to interact with streamers and other players and stuff like that. Being able to organize events and stuff like that. If we had co-op or the Mystic Clash, you could do all kinds of stuff with that. And the catalyst would be the Twitch drops, getting people active in those chats. And again, make those rewards actually be worth the damn. So I don't, obviously I can't speak on this because I don't play these games. But looking here, Wuthering Waves has drops. Honkai Star Rail has drops. I don't know if these are good. I don't play these games, so I don't know if these are significant or not. But yeah, other gacha games are doing this kind of stuff. But again, if we don't have content, it's going to be hard for streamers to sit there through drops with nothing to do, because obviously that's going to look bad too. You do a drop event, but there's no content in the game. Your streamer that's being watched for these drops can't really show anything off because there's nothing to do. So yeah, again, Twitch drops would be great, but you'd need to do some work beforehand to actually get some content, ideally repeatable content. Again, like the co-op, you could arrange, the streamer can arrange co-op stuff, viewer games, stuff like that. There's so much there that could be good for community building, and I think Twitch drops would be great for that. But yeah, I think that's about it for that. Again, I don't want to get into too much stuff here and make this video way too long. But I'm going to keep taking notes. As long as I'm at least somewhat passionate about this game, I'm going to keep taking notes and hope for the best. But yeah, going through the stuff today and seeing the content kind of drying up is not giving me too much encouragement. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Let me know if there's ideas you guys have that you think would help the game. But yeah, I'm a little worried right now. I don't know where it's gonna go. Maybe they have content in their back pocket that they're waiting to shadow drop on us out of nowhere and get us all excited. And maybe they got some generous rewards, some keys and stuff for people to use. They saw that how weak the gifts and stuff have been, and they got it in their back pocket. They're ready to drop it and make us all happy. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.